Chris, any chance the Raptors can convince Kawhi to stay past this season?
Only in the never say never sense, like anything can happen type of sense. So practically speaking, there's virtually no chance. But what I'm told, and if I'm Kawhi Leonard, I am ultra excited about this season. This is look at it as 1 year in the East. I can go dominate that conference. I can get this team to the finals. They won 59 games, and with me and Danny Green, we got better. We got better three-point shooting-wise. We got better defensively. He should look at this as an opportunity to prove, in his mind, I'm the best player in the world. I can dominate the East like LeBron James did and lead my team to the finals and, see what happens from there. So I'm sure he had a good meeting with Nick Nurse, the new coach, because from what I'm told, that's the attitude that Kawhi has. But I think it'll be a one-year thing. People act like if you go to the finals, he can't leave. If he goes to the finals, leads them to the finals and plays well in that championship series, then he walks out in a blaze of glory. That's better than leaving when you go to the second round and out. So I still think L.A. is front and center in his mind, Lakers or maybe the Clippers. So I think it's a one-year rental, but they'll be really good this year.
I would guess it's a one-year rental, but I can't find an NBA player that isn't blown away by going to Toronto, right? They're all like, man, you ever been to Toronto?
But how many want to stay there?
Listen, but Kawhi's also a different cat now. And while you always think L.A., I'm from Southern California. I went to two schools. They weren't in Southern California because sometimes you're like, man, I love that it's 75 and sunny every single day. But there is a difference to that lifestyle. And maybe the fact that everywhere LeBron goes, there's cameras and attention. And he's not into that. Maybe that's not his lifestyle. Maybe he does love it. Look, I think he's going to L.A. I think he'll wear a Laker uniform. The Lakers think he'll wear a Laker uniform. Most people in the NBA do. But I give it a better than you think chance because they did have the best record in the East. They are going to build around him. And they got a shot. They got an absolute shot. And it's instead of a recruiting visit, this is, hey, come play here for a year. Yeah. And if you don't want to stay, fine. As for whether or not he had a great meeting with Nick Nurse or didn't, I have no reason to believe that Nick Nurse is lying, but I have no reason to believe that Nick Nurse is telling the truth. I think Nick Nurse is doing what's smart, which is, man, it was great. Never let anybody think it was anything other than great.
But don't you think, I was surprised. Nick Nurse said he was surprised that he was asking so many questions. Where am I going to get the ball? How are you going to use me? Where are you going to put me within the offense? And Nick Nurse said, I went through all the different scenarios of how we could play, pick and roll, coming off pinned out, the whole variety of things. And Kawhi said, yeah, you're going to use all of those things. Don't you think that is a positive that Kawhi was so intent in asking exactly how he was going to fit in rather than just
But just the fact that he was moving his mouth and words were coming out, I think was probably pretty surprising to Nick. It's like, wow, he actually speaks. He wasn't in the box and doing the mime thing. Kawhi's a really bright guy. He's just different. He lets other people often do his talking about what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, but no one's ever said that Kawhi Leonard's a dope, and he knows at some point he has to take control of his career because you can't not play for a second season, play 9 games in 2 years, and if you want to get the most money possible in the best situation possible, the best way to do it is go out and play. And I have no reason to believe that Nick Nurse didn't offer up some ideas on where they want to use him. He probably said, hey, I'm open to ideas as well. I think Kawhi Leonard could be the best player in the league, as you said, in the years to come as LeBron ages because he can be a small ball 5. He was a center in high school, and he's the one guy who can actually score down there and not just be a perimeter player who has to learn to score down there. So I think there's a lot of things to take from it.
I think part of this, too, is he's just happy to be out of San Antonio.
Yes.
He's happy to be in a new, fresh situation where, look, the Spurs are the Patriots of the NBA. And everything is you do it this way. Now, Popovich is a coach who's versatile and will adjust his strategies, but it's still front office, head coach, we make the decisions. And now he's in Toronto where I'm sure they're catering to him. Yes. Look, like you said, where do you want the ball, how you want to do it? And he's into that, I'm sure. And that's one way they're going to recruit him like OKC did with Paul George. To your point, though, I agree with you. I'm not sure going to L.A. is the best thing for Kawhi. It's hard to be at home. It takes a special player to, be at home and not get distracted and all of that. But right now, in Kawhi's mind, L.A.'s where he wants to go. But I'm with you on it might be better off somewhere else.
Are we at all overlooking the balance Nick Nurse is going to have? They revamped the offense last season,
right.
and it took a while for a guy like Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, but now he's gone, but to get adjusted, to not have the ball stick, not have. Is there a balance between appeasing Kawhi, making sure you're running things through Kawhi because he's the best player, and also making sure Kyle Lowry isn't just pushed to the side given the type of player he is and how he needs to have the ball as well?
In all candor, you cover the East, far more than probably we even do in terms of seeing every game. But my sense is that one of the things that makes Kawhi so great is he plays both ends. He does move the ball. And though he needs it, it's not like he wants to dominate at the top of the key like a LeBron does or like a Kevin Durant does, where the entire offense shuts down until he does what he does. So I think that this version of Toronto fits him better, frankly, than it did DeMar DeRozan.
Right?
Like, I think Toronto got better in this deal.
No
Short term.
Yeah.
Long term, probably not. But he's a better fit for ball movement, player movement, pace and space, spreading out around that three-point line, as opposed to DeMar DeRozan, who, if you went back 15 years ago, you'd rather have DeMar DeRozan because he's the closest thing to a Kobe-like scorer we have in the NBA.
Yeah. Do we keep the Clippers in mind as well still? We keep talking Lakers?
Yes. The Clippers are just as convinced as the Lakers that they're getting him. Now, I would put the Lakers as a front runner, but what I've been told is he wants to go to L.A. It could be either team. He just wants to be in L.A. So I would give the Clippers a shot, and I put Jerry West as a big reason I give them a shot. But I still think the question is going to come down for Kawhi. Does he want to kind of be in LeBron's shadow? You go to the Lakers, it's going to be mostly about LeBron James. You'll be obviously a great player there. But do you want to be in his shadow, or do you want to kind of have your own team, maybe with a Jimmy Butler? That's the thing. The Clippers can bring another star free agent there, too.
It's still,
so
it's
going to be
Clippers. It's in New York. Nobody says I want to go to the Nets or go to the Mets.
Chris is so good because he always tees us up for our next topic.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.